What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the NFC North Roundtable. I am joined by the usual suspects yet again. Dose of Dion in the house, Basaraki here in the house, one more, and my man Nick. What's going on, fellas?
Better than last night.
Excited. Yeah.
Oh, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking weakest position groups and strongest position groups for each team in the NFC North, all right? But before we do want you to know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. BetUS gives you an opportunity to receive a 125% bonus up to $2,500. The link is in the description of the video. And they also have a promotion right now where that bonus is not just applicable to your first deposit, but now your first 3 deposits. Yes, they are giving you 125% on your first 3 deposits using the link in the description. Just make sure you put in code JOIN125. All right. Don't forget that it's 24/7 customer service with BetUS and 24-hour easy payouts. All right. Speaking of BetUS, guys, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Okay. I wanted to see if you could help me determine where is the next destination for Russell Wilson, man. We're talking about the Denver Broncos quarterback, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and cut him. I want to start with Basaraki. Where do you see him landing?
Oh, this is such a hard one. Like the couch. I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I'd be comfortable like betting on anything with Russell Wilson right now. But Steelers, even I don't like it. Raiders. They could definitely be a team that just like does that for some reason. Falcons, oh man. Let me see some of the other ones. Let me what
It's
are
a
some
tough
of the
one,
other ones
man.
Here? Patriots, Bears would be funny.
No.
Vikings, Saints.
Minnesota needs a quarterback.
No,
gosh.
not happening.
Oh
Gross.
man. I guess if I had to place one down, I'd just do Raiders just because it just seems like a Raider move. Like Raiders 350.
Yeah, I remember one bar saying they're used to doing crazy things. What about you, Dion? Where do you see him going, especially with the Lions having a quarterback that overachieved? Do you see him going there?
No, I'm actually a little disappointed that he was on that list, TD. You didn't need to bring that up. You know what? Giants. I like Giants right in the middle there. I mean, maybe that's something that is not super expensive. And if they can't get out of the Daniel Jones deal, just make him a backup. So there you go. Another option.
That is interesting, though, just for the Detroit Lions to be on here. That is definitely interesting. I would expect teams like the Miami Dolphins before the Detroit Lions, but hey, that's what odds are for. But ladies and gentlemen, you let us know what you think, okay? Go on to BetUS, take advantage of that bonus, get your odds in, and put who you think is going to pick up Russell Wilson after he presumably is going to get cut, all right? Well, let's go into more team-specific news here, ladies and gentlemen. We want to talk about weakest position group for each team and strongest position group for each team. We're going to start out with the weakest, and let's start out with the weakest team. Let's go with Chicago Bears. Talk to us, Nick. What's the weakest position group in Chicago?
You know, it's tough because like in each position group there is some hole, like equal amount of holes. But I would go the offensive line. I think that the Bears still have some problems there. You know, Nate Davis was out last year with injuries. Braxton Jones out. Like the Bears just have a ton of injury issues, and that's what makes them weak. Because when they are fully healthy, they are a good team, at least on the offensive line standpoint. I think that the Bears need to address center. That's a for sure thing. We talked about it in the free agent video. Like that's my number one need, that no matter who our quarterback is, has to have a good center. Our guards, we need more depth there. So overall, the offensive line is a big key area for the Bears. I would put a slight asterisk on our running back group as well. Even though we were the number 2 rushing team in the NFL last year, we need a big blocking running back. Rashawn Johnson kind of did that last year. Khalil Herbert can't block for anything. So we definitely need to address the big blocking running back for sure.
Wow. So is your number one priority the O-line?
For sure the O-line, but a close second with the running back room.
Got it. Because you guys are about to trade a running back. Okay, got it. All right. Let's go with one bar here. What is the weakest position group on the team?
Well, this is an interesting one. If we don't re-sign Daniil Hunter, obviously edge goes right up to the top. But I'm going to assume that we re-sign him. So I'm going to go defensive line, and Brian Flores came in, and our defensive line actually, when you look at the numbers, performed. But when you look at the actual players and you watch the games, they didn't perform. I mean, when you look at our starters, it was Jonathan Bullard, Dean Lowry, who played about 3 games, and Harrison Phillips. And then you mix in a little Sheldon Day, a little Kyrese Tonga. So based off the names I'm rattling off right now, you're probably getting sick to your stomach. So clearly that is a very, very big need. So Harrison Phillips, unsung hero, stat line, he's not going to wow you. He had a fantastic year. He really did. But he's also potentially going to get cut. I mean, we could save some money there and just absolutely revamp that defensive line. Dean Lowry, that dude ain't coming back. What a disaster that was. Baz is laughing because hopes for Dean Lowry were probably a little bit too high. But after all of that, Jonathan Bullard's a free agent. That leaves us with Sheldon Day, Kyrese Tonga, and TJ Smith. Gross. Teams are going to have a field day with this. Draft free agency. We got to hit that defensive line so damn hard, so hard. And I'm hoping Brian Flores just waves his magical wand and make things happen there, because this is bad news. I mean, it's easily our weakest link.
Wow. Interesting. Bass, what's going on in Green Bay? What's the weakest link?
This one's easy, and I think every Packers fan would agree, and that's the safety position. 3 impending free agents at safety. Darnell Savage, who his contract just voided, so they could still bring him back, but they pretty much just set into effect the $5 million dead cap, so it would have made sense if they brought him back before this Monday. Rudy Ford, who was starting at one point in the season, then got hurt, and then he was pretty much a bench player the rest of the year. Doubt they bring him back. John Owens, who the Packers loved a lot more than everyone else, he's a free agent as well. So all 3 of those guys could potentially not be back, and that leaves just a couple guys under contract on the roster. Benny Sapp, an undrafted free agent from last year, who had 3 snaps. Anthony Johnson Jr., a 7th round rookie, who I do like. He had 300 snaps last year, so that's their most snap safety, right? Zane Anderson, a special teamer, had 14 snaps last year. So safety is definitely the weakest link. I think the Packers need to draft 2 and sign a free agent. Defensive back overall is kind of weak, because cornerback, you could kind of throw that into there as well, but safety is definitely the Packers' weakest link right now.
Safety. Wow. Dion, talk to us. What's going on in Detroit? Weakest link.
Yeah, we don't have any weaknesses, TD. I think everybody can agree. Now, be honest, man, if I would say, I could just say kicker. I mean, but it would be the most boring thing. We need a dang kicker, okay? I mean, we need a dang kicker. However, I'm going to go with the obvious one, and that's cornerback for me. And the way that I explain is this: if we re-signed everybody, if every single cornerback we had last year decided to come back, we would still have a need at cornerback, and it'd still be we need someone opposite of that man, Cam Sutton, because I don't think he's going anywhere, and I don't think he should go anywhere. We have a great slot corner, but we need another cornerback. So for me, it's cornerback. I think they can address a lot of different ways. Free agency, draft, they can do a little bit of both. I'm down for both. I like some of the depth we have, or guard. You could argue guard just because our guards are not signed. But again, I like the backups there. I expect at least one of 2 to be brought back. I think, honestly, both will be brought back. So cornerback is the top need, right beside kicker.
Interesting. Well, let's snake this and go backwards again. Let's go back with you, Dion. Let's talk strongest position group on the team then.
Yeah, I mean, this was a tough one. I mean, look, this is look, it's either quarterback or running back. I mean, that's the way I look at it, to be honest. I mean, for me, quarterback, well, we have 2 really good quarterbacks. I'm just a big fan of Hendon Hooker. I know we haven't seen him play yet. I was a big fan when he came out of the draft. I was way off on that. I was like, oh, maybe he goes round 1. He went round 3, but I'm excited about it. But running back for me, because we have 2 great running backs. I think we honestly could come in with just kind of basically what we had last year, and we'd be fine. We wouldn't have to touch this position at all. You don't want to take that approach, I guess. But yeah, for me, I'll go running back here, just because I think that 1-2, we're both young, both durable players. So yeah, I don't think we're missing anything in that room at all.
Interesting. What about you guys, Bass?
I'm happy to say this. It's wide receiver, and it feels like a long time since I've been able to go into a draft season and go, I don't mock a single wide receiver to the Packers. I love diving down into the wide receivers during draft season, and I haven't done it because I haven't felt the need to. Maybe they get a 6th round, a 7th round guy, or if someone screams out at them. But You mean right now on this roster, you have Tay Wicks, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Bo Melton, Malik Heath, and a 7th-round pick from last year, Grant DeBose, who was a practice squad guy. Every single one of those under 24 years old. You know, Christian Watson and Bo Melton being the oldest guys there at 24. I remember a funny stat from last year, and it was all 6 of those guys, their cap hits combined was less than Allen Lazard's on the Jets. Like, that is absolutely insane, right? I love that the Packers are so deep at the wide receiver room right now with Jordan Love going into the future. It's what everyone was clamoring for when Aaron Rodgers was here. Like, come on, keep bringing in. He has no weapons. He has Allen Lazard and, you know, the grocery bagger at wide receiver, right? So it's nice to finally have all these wide receivers here and not have to mock a receiver to the Packers in the first round like I've been doing for the last 6 years. So definitely wide receiver for the Packers.
Nice. What about Minnesota, the strongest position group that you have, One Bar?
I'll make this short and sweet. I mean, it's wide receiver. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I mean, top heavy, yes. Who's going to be our number 3 next year? Who gives a shit? I mean, we are absolutely stacked. Justin Jefferson, 1,000 yards in 10 games. You kidding me? I mean, the dude is insane. And the best part about that is those 10 games, he had Kirk Cousins for what? Not a ton of them. I mean, Jordan Addison, 10 touchdowns, 70 receptions, 900 yards. He's only going to get better. So our wide receivers are absolutely loaded. That's why whoever's playing quarterback next year doesn't get us too scared because he has the weapons to play with. So we'll see how they fill out the depth chart. But when you're that top heavy, let's go.
Interesting. Okay, Nick, man, talk to us. What is going right in Chicago? Best position group.
I mean, there's a lot of good things going in Chicago, TD. Come on. You know, everyone in this room is scared of me right now. Everyone said it. They're scared of that defense, and that's where we definitely have our strength. And our secondary is pretty stacked, and they're super young, kind of like Baz has up in Green Bay with young wide receiver group. We have a super young secondary of guys that, you know, we had a rookie win NFC Defensive Player of the Week this year in Tyreek Stevenson. You know, Tyreek Stevenson's only 23 years old. Jaquan Brisker is only 24 years old. Kyler Gordon, 23 years old. Terrell Smith, 22 years old. And then Jalen Johnson's 24 years old. Yes, we are missing a safety still, but this group is super young. Number 1 takeaways in the NFL last season, and they didn't even have one till week 5. So they definitely gelled together. They have a lot of things going for them in the future, and I'm super pumped about that room. Something that we don't need to worry about. You can never have too many DBs, in my opinion, because, you know, special teams and any other position like that. But secondary in Chicago, it is a no-fly zone for the next couple of years for the Chicago Bears.
Interesting. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've just received each team's weakest position group and each team's strongest position group. This should definitely help you determine what direction each team should be headed when they enter free agency and the draft. Thank you for tuning in to the NFC North Roundtable. Until next time, peace. We are out.